Hi, I'm David. I'm a senior at Wheaton and I'm majoring in philosophy.
My name is Kaylee Flowers. I'm a freshman and an English literature major.
My name is Cuddy. I'm a sophomore and I'm a health science major.
I'm Jonah. I'm a junior currently and a chemistry major. Questions that I get asked often are ones that require an affirmative or negative answer. So a lot of yes or no questions, like did you like growing up overseas, or did you not like growing up overseas?
Probably the most common, do you speak African? Just a lot of questions of like, what are the differences?
How is Africa? Does everyone live in mud huts there, or is that just TV? And what language do they speak, and are you fluent?
Also, questions that are stereotypically associated with missionary kids. So, what mission did your parents work with? When actually my parents were independent missionaries.
A question that I get asked a lot is, can you say something in Japanese? Or do you watch anime? What's your favorite ramen? Things like that. What parts of your country have become a part of you, and how? As a missionary kid, you kind of grow up between two different cultures, and it becomes kind of like you get different parts of those cultures sewn together.
The best type of questions are ones that allow the person being asked to share something that's valuable to them from their culture. So when people are actually willing to listen to the answer and have time, that's amazing. Oftentimes when these questions are asked though, it's when people are just meeting you for the first time and they hear my accent and they're like, where are you from? And instantly starts the chain of consecutive questions of like, oh, you're a missionary? Where did you grow up? Like, what mission were your parents a part of? Different things like that, where it's like, I could give you a short answer and that's what you want right now. But it really doesn't give the chance to explain more about what's behind that story.
How is the church in Zambia? Like, what's going on spiritually in Zambia? A lot, people don't ask about that. I think they have just kind of like assumptions. Also, people don't often ask me what's memorable about Zambia. Like, they'll ask me kind of more broad questions about Africa as a whole. And then one question that also I would like to be asked more is, what about Zambian culture would you bring back to the United States if you could? And it shows how there's beauty in all cultures, even if it's not your particular culture, how parts of that can be really, I don't know, just even helpful for you relationally or spiritually in some ways.
Yeah, one thought is I'm like, I like this question. I wish people would maybe just ask me this, or like, what do people typically not ask about? What's an aspect of the culture you grew up in that people don't really ever get to know about? I think that could be cool. I think also just more focused on stories. Just be like, hey, what's a story that could show me what your culture is all about? What's a story that shows like how you were confused by American culture? I think a lot of people outside of the US think more in stories, and yeah, it really shows a bit more human feel instead of just facts about what the culture is. Oh, I think in general, just not assuming a lot of things, because I think it's really easy to like find these points of contact of like, oh, I know this fact about that country, or like, I know this one person from your country. And I mean, imagine someone in a different country was just like, oh, I know this person from Oregon, do you know them?
Good question. Something I wish I was asked more is what aspects of the different cultures you grew up in you resonate most with. There are many things in different cultures that I agree or disagree with, and different things that shape who I am. So by asking that question, it's a really good way to find out different things that have shaped me as a person so far. So a few things that come to mind are like, why do I like dancing? Well, actually in Ecuador, it's a really great space for people to dance. They have a big dance culture, and Why do I feel awkward greeting people sometimes? Well, that's because in Ecuador they greet people differently, and you kind of have a lot to find out